John Lee meets with his Council of Advisors for views on his forthcoming policy address. Hong Kong records the highest number of suicides in more than 2 decades, representing a 4% jump from last year. And the government will introduce a new web-based application to report child abuse starting next year. Good evening, you're now watching Cable News. I'm Cheryl Yun. Chief Executive John Lee has held meetings with the Chief Executive's Council of Advisors to chart the way forward for his policy address. In his relentless efforts to maintain the city's status amid growing geopolitical tensions, Lee's in-depth discussions have focused on economy, technology, and regional and global ties. Evelyn Bai reports.
During the first meeting of the new term of Chief Executive's Council of Advisors, which focused on the city's economy, innovation and entrepreneurship, and regional and global collaborations, Lee expressed gratitude for members actively providing valuable insights and wise counsel. Lee also welcomed 3 new members to his advisory team. Hailing from the mainland, Zhu Min is the former deputy director of the International Monetary Fund. The other 2 are Hangzhou-based tech entrepreneurs. Wang Xinxing, founder and chief executive of humanoid robot maker Unitree Robotics, and Han Bi-cheng, the founder of brain-machine firm BrainCo. The new additions to the team highlighted Hong Kong's unique advantages, emphasizing the city's role as a bridge between the mainland and the global market. Powered by its strong educational, research, and financial capabilities, Lee noted. During his 3rd year in office, a total of 34 members were appointed to Lee's advisory body last month. The council exchanged views on how to consolidate Hong Kong's position as an international financial, shipping, and trade center, and ways to speed up the development of the northern metropolis to drive innovation and technology growth in the SAR. Lee will deliver his 4th policy address this September, for which the public consultation commenced on June 16th. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
A suicide prevention organization revealed that 1,138 people in the city ended their lives last year, the highest number since 2003. Middle-aged men were identified as the most vulnerable group. Samaritan Befrienders, a local voluntary agency which provides counseling services, said the coroner's court handled 1,138 suicide cases in 2024, up 4% from the previous year. The figure translates to a suicide rate of 15.1 per 100,000 people, with over 65% being men. Chairman Heymans Wong stated that men in their 30s and 40s have shown a sharp rise in suicide rates, reflecting the immense societal, financial, and mental pressures faced by adult men in Hong Kong. Wong explained that this age group often serves as the primary financial pillar for their families, making them more susceptible to the impacts of a sluggish economic environment and a challenging job market, which can lead to self-doubt and self-deprecation. The organization also found men are far less likely to seek help than women due to societal stigma, calling for a shift in norms to encourage speaking out, while also urging greater public awareness of mental health, stronger prevention and support policies, and closer attention to high-risk groups. Secretary for Labor and Welfare Chris Sun has announced a pilot scheme to take care of physically disabled dependents if their caretakers are hospitalized. Additionally, the welfare chief said starting next year, the government will introduce a new web-based application for reporting suspected cases of child abuse. Jeremy Zhu reports.
Taking to the airwaves, Sun said that if a caretaker is admitted to the hospital authority will alert the Social Welfare Department, which will arrange for a replacement to take care of the dependent till the caretaker is discharged. Sun added that around 8,000 to 9,000 caretakers currently receive allowance, and this pilot scheme is just the first step. No prior registration is required, and if operations run smoothly, it could be expanded. Meanwhile, the mandatory report of child abuse ordinance, which takes effect next year, requires workers from 25 different professions, including doctors, social workers, and teachers, to report suspected cases of abuse. Under the new law, failure to report instances of suspected physical, psychological, or sexual abuse could result in penalties of up to 3 months imprisonment and a $50,000 fine. Sun explained that a new website was developed by experts from the medical, social welfare, and education sectors, along with hundreds of frontline workers. When reporting via the website, professionals will answer multiple-choice questions, and the system will determine whether mandatory reporting is required.
I think the purpose to make sure that all the professionals, they have a peace of mind when it comes to their obligations under law, and through the system, instead of going through a very thick book of reporters' guidelines, they can just answer all the questions.
Expressing concerns over industrial safety, Sun said authorities are investigating the death of a worker near the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge 2 days ago. The worker died after he was hit by a falling metal beam during the red rainstorm warning. The contractor involved has been temporarily suspended from bidding for public work projects, Sun said. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
Preparations for the forthcoming national games are in the final stages, and starting Monday, Hong Kongers will be able to purchase official event-related merchandise. Secretary for Culture, Sports and Tourism Rosanna Law noted that these products embody the spirit of the national games while incorporating local elements. Evelyn Bai reports.
3、2、1
The products will be available at 3 official retail stores at Kai Tak Mall, West Kowloon Station, and Immigration Tower in Wan Chai. Most of the souvenirs feature the 2 mascots, Xi Yang Yang and Le Rong Rong, which are inspired by Chinese white dolphins. The items include magnets, canvas bags, stuffed toys, water cups, umbrellas, and stamps. Speaking at the press conference, Law revealed that the retail locations will be expanded to more places across the city. These souvenirs not only carry the spirit of the national games, but also feature other landmarks from the city and local delicacies, Law stated. She added that preparations for the games are progressing smoothly, asking Hong Kongers and tourists to stay tuned. Hong Kong is co-hosting the games for the first time alongside Guangdong and Macau. The SAR will be sending its largest ever delegation to the national games this year, with over 600 athletes competing in more than 20 events. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
Police Commissioner Zhou Chao officiated the passing out parade for a new batch of 43 inspectors and 219 recruit constables who graduated from the Hong Kong Police College. Addressing the event in Wong Chuk Hang, Chao highlighted the importance of strengthening team culture and called for continued vigilance against national security threats. Jeremy Zhu reports.
Speaking at the parade, Chao reflected on the force's resilience. He said over the years, police have faced countless challenges, yet always overcome them, emerging stronger through teamwork. The road ahead may be tough with ups and downs, but remember your original aspiration and know you are not fighting alone, he said. Among the graduates was 27-year-old Palvinderjeet Singh, a Sikh who was born in Hong Kong. His family has served in the disciplinary services for 4 generations, including the British garrison in Hong Kong. His father is currently a correctional services officer. Singh said he believes his background gives him an edge in handling cases, particularly in assisting non-Chinese speakers. I hope more ethnic minority youth see me and consider joining the force, he said. Following his religious practice, Singh will be allowed to wear a blue turban instead of a police hat. Police serve all communities regardless of race or religion. The force added that religious requirements will be accommodated for officers from different faiths. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
A preliminary report in the crash of Air India Flight 171 suggests that fuel supply to both engines of the aircraft was cut moments after takeoff. The The tragedy in the western Indian city of Ahmedabad, which killed 260 people last month, was one of the worst air disasters in the country's aviation history. Investigators said that control switches which activate fuel supply to the engines were moved to the cut-off position. A cockpit voice recording from the Boeing 787 Dreamliner highlighted the conversation between the two pilots, where one is heard asking his colleague why he did the cutoff, and the other pilot replies he did not do so, the report says. One pilot called out Mayday shortly afterwards, but there was no further communication with the aircraft. The investigation is ongoing, and this report, issued by India's Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, is not conclusive. A final report is expected within a year. En route to London, the aircraft crashed within 1 minute after takeoff, slamming into the hostel building of a nearby medical college. One person survived the crash, but the other 241 people on board died in the accident. Another 19 people were killed when the plane impacted with the building. And finally, activists are urging the government to use Hong Kong's past to promote tourism today. Sight of an old bus is nostalgic for Hong Kongers, and to put them into good use, some voices are asking authorities to relax road license restrictions to promote vintage bus tourism. These old buses, nicknamed hot dog buses for their lack of air conditioning, have been out of service for over a decade. Though retired, they may soon take on a new role. Two vintage bus conservation activists, Lo and Julio, have purchased these vehicles, investing time and money to give them a second life. They are collaborating with the bus company to transform them into a mobile tourist attraction. Richard Hall, Citybus Managing Director, said the initiative aligns with the government's broader tourism goals.
The government is now talking about industrial and brand tourism. This is a new direction that can complement what is already in place. Vintage buses are key in the history of any country. Actually, in Hong Kong, they were key in the development and the industrialization of Hong Kong. And they have brought prosperity and great growth of the economy. We can bring the vintage buses, the past, the history back to life, and we can generate more income and more prosperity for Hong Kong.
However, current laws prohibit retired buses from operating on the streets, and license renewals are not permitted. The conservation activists are calling for relaxed policies to allow the rebirth of these vintage buses, which once carried Hong Kongers through their daily routines and hold cherished memories. On to the weather now. Mainly cloudy with a few showers. Hot with sunny periods during the day. The maximum temperature will be around 32 degrees. Now let's take a look at the weather around the world. That's our news tonight. I'm Cheryl Yun. Thanks for watching and good night.